So you want to make progress in Chimera, but you feel stuck. You see all these teams and champions that you don't have, and you need other options. Well, I have scoured the depths of Raid Shadow Legends and come out the other side with a ton of teams, champions, and strategies you can use to make progress no matter where you are on your account. Let's jump right in. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. Welcome to the news desk. We are going to talk about unknown heroes, teams, trials, all of the ways that you're going to get more damage in Raid Shadow Legends. I've been looking over all of the top 10 lists of damage dealers for Chimera, and it's very exclusive club. It's like all of the known big hitters, Marius, Newt, Ninja. What if you don't have those? There's no other options that are known, and that's the point of this video. So let me know who your current teams are in the comments, and if this is going to help you here. This is going to be geared towards Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare possible teams, but you can apply these strategies no matter where you're at on your account. You just scale down the gear level, you add in champions that you have to supplement, and I'll make suggestions along the way as well. So let's jump right in. I want to get started. I got a lot to cover today, and I'm super pumped about it, okay? So this all started with my dude Spiritually, okay? Big shout out to him. He has been talking to me about Alsgore and Ferric in the Fat, and blowing my mind with what is possible on his teams. He did 170 million, 11 trials on Ultra Nightmare with Alsgore in the team. I mean, this is not a champion that people are aware of that you can use in Raid Shadow Legends for Chimera, okay? And look at the time. He was in the run for 52 minutes. That's impressive. That is very impressive. That tells me he's taking a lot of turns. He probably manualed it. Both of those things are probably true. Now, yes, of course, you're going to see a lot of Lydias, all right? And I do think that Lydia is still a trap. I know I get a lot of hate for that. But I'm saying that other champions do more damage. They make your team do more damage than Lydia. That's all I'm saying. There are other potential champions you can use. You don't have to use Lydia. Okay, so Ferric in the Fat also is fascinating because he's bringing you tons of trials and options for debuffs as well as buffs, and he's an epic, right? I think that he is the best ally attacker for this content. That's insane. I know Mikage is amazing, obviously, but especially if you're not running Shadowkin, what do you need her for? You don't need her. You run Ferric in the Fat. He's great. Okay, and then you can see another option here that he was working on too. This is more typical, but I really want to try Mad Hatter with Toshiro. That is on my list of things to do. I can build this team. I'm concerned about the low number of trials on my side of things. I'm looking to get double digits on the trials to maximize as much as possible, but this is a end game options here. Lamasu, if you have her, can be really amazing, okay? Gator Guy, I sent out a message and I was like, what can we use here that we're not using? And he included a team here with Mashald. That's why I wanted to include it here. In case you don't have the Nikmos, the Estrids, the turn meter boosters, Mashald brings a lot. He's bringing buffs, he's bringing turn meter boost, he's bringing that leech to keep you alive, and you do not necessarily have to fill your team around with these same ones. But you can. If you have all of these champions, then obviously. And I would love to see more damage out of this, actually, because we have Senna in the team. Next up, actually I cut off the name here, my apologies, but this is a much earlier game team, no reviver, but still some great options. You're getting Stalk, which I think is an amazing pick, and then Ultimate Death Knight to help keep your team alive. These are not champions that are commonly known. Okay, next up, my dude Roz. Roz killing it with Loriaka, okay? Loriaka is one of the only champions in the game that unlocks these specific trials. And she is really, really incredible, okay? Do we have a picture on the next slide of the trials? No, that's the Loriaka build. Okay, let me back up here. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. I want to say he said like 15 trials with this or something insane. The reason that we would be using this type of a team is for the trials, okay? And the more trials you do, the more damage you're going to do as well. I would suggest that we could probably use somebody else other than Lydia, since we have Duchess to keep us alive. And I'm wondering if we put Duchess in that first or second slot, if that would give us more survivability, actually. So Roz will have to update me in the comments. I'm sure he'll see this and let us know. He's such a good dude, always so helpful. Part of Team MtgJedi. Roz, always super helpful. And then that build. I think this is really a great thing to remember when you are wanting cooldowns on your champions. Merciless plus Reflex plus Impulse, any of those cooldown reducing sets are amazing to keep you going. Alright, now let's jump into some teams that I found on the Optimizer. And I just love the idea of using Uko here. For those of you who've been around for a while, you know I am completely and utterly frustrated with Uko in Hydra. But in Chimera, that's another story altogether. He brings a block damage on the revive. And I think that that's key to keeping your team alive in the Ram form. This did 13 trials and 239 million damage. Granted, you're going like crazy speeds like 380, 404. Okay, I get it. But the premise is still there, and tons of players have Ukos that maybe they're forced to use in Hydra, maybe they're not, but it's an option, right? I am going to try that, and I think he's great. He brings decreased attack, he brings block buffs, he strips buffs. He does a lot for this content. I'm excited to try it. Next up, we have another Uko team here, and I just wanted to remind people again that other ally attackers are options here, okay? We have Cardial, who's obviously bringing that cleanse. He's bringing the speed aura. We have a 6-star banner on him if you want to. Acrisia, obviously an amazing option here. Newt, obviously an amazing option here. Those are no surprise whatsoever. So, with that being said, what we can tell from a lot of these teams is that Toshiro, Aphodus, Marius, Newt, Acrisia, Ninja, Terrace Marichka, Calamitous, and Teox are the common DPS options. And I know that maybe not a lot of people are using Aphodus and Calamitous yet. If you have them, you should be using them probably. But they're mythicals. I don't want to come at you and say, here is a pile of mythicals, that you should use them and increase your damage. You know this. You already know that, okay? I want other options, but as a reminder, put ally attack in to help with damage. Also, at some point, they're going to add the Live Arena Great Hall for Chimera. They're going to add it eventually, okay? So, what are the other options? You've been waiting. You didn't click off the video because you're like, when's he going to tell me the other options? I got you, okay? So, option number 1 is Quintus. With the boost in points that we are now getting from Live Arena, more and more people are going to have Quintus, okay? This is not a high trials team, but this is a team that you're going to get a lot of damage from Quintus. He's the one bringing decreased defense. Mad Hatter is bringing the weaken, and he's going to pull Quintus to do crazy amounts of damage. As a reminder, you need more crit damage on your Reviver than someone else on the team. So, for example, okay, you can see the Elva there. I don't know, zoom in or whatever, but she has 126 crit damage, which is more than Mikage. Your Reviver needs more crit damage than somebody on the team. Okay, that's a lot of the time. That's the reason why your reviver is dying. Next up, we have Grazer and Harima. Now, these are hard to obtain champions, but a lot of people do have Harima. A lot of people do have Grazer. I think it's a great reminder that you can use them in your teams, okay? And then, just pause if you want to see the stats. If it's too hard to read, let me know, but this is the best way I feel I can display the information on the screen. Next up, we have Carnage, which I never in a million years thought of. And I don't really understand how he's doing so much damage here. Carnage, I never would have thought that. I love the 9-piece Feral Rio build, and obviously we know the other common ones, Duchess and Nikmo, Marius, we know all of those, but everybody can get Carnage. Even if you're only getting a couple Carnage fragments per rotation on hard, that you'll get him eventually, okay? It's a free mythical, eventually you'll have him. So, we can safely add Quintus Grazer, Harima, and Carnage to our list. The 6-star blessings are going to be really helpful. So, for example, if your reviver that's uncommonly used has a 6-star blessing, you might want to consider building your team around them. Same thing with one of these damage dealers. If you have a higher blessing, for example, on your Quintus or on your Ninja, you should probably be using them, okay? But that's not all. Let's not stop there, okay? More trials often means more damage. So if you don't have the common damage dealers, try to get more trials, which will ramp up your damage. More speed is always the answer. More speed is always the answer. And then your gear as well. Try to get yourself some Feral, Protection, Merciless, and Relentless gear, okay? At the very least, you can get Relentless gear from your tournaments. Eventually, everybody has lots of Relentless gear, and you can put it on your champions in Chimera, okay? And then you'll be getting extra turns doing more damage, recycling your abilities. Alright, so I want to wrap up the video with some very interesting teams that the optimizer thinks I should be using here, and I want to try out. I found it fascinating in this team that Pythion is in it as the reviver. We have Pythion combined with Fina to reset Marius, and there's no other high elf in this team. I run a similar team to this, but I run Arbiter in the reviver spot, so I think that this is very interesting to try Fina with no other high elf. And I thought Pythion is a great option for a lot of players as well. He helps with your survivability a ton. And Fina is insane. Fina is just actually insane for this content. If you happen to have her, very, very rare champion. But, she's amazing. 388 million with 10 trials. Obviously in insane endgame gear. But still, the premise is still there. And I feel like there was one more thing I was going to say about that team. Oh, yes. I am really excited about the new fusion to pair with Fina. So I think that's another good option as well. Next up, we have the Sulfurion build. And, this is just a reminder about gear, okay? I love Sulfurion. I want to use him. It ended up doing a lot of trials I was surprised about. But Lydia in 9-piece Feral, Mikage in 9-piece Merciless, Marius in 9-piece Slayer, all that's amazing. And then, here's the one that I wanted to mention, that's the reason why it's on the screen here. Nikmo in Toxic. The Toxic set is a great way to get more debuffs, clear trials, pair somebody in a Toxic set with Lydia for additional trials. It's really great. That's how we're getting 13 trials with this team. Next up, I wanted to put Lazarius in here at some point, but I love the idea of Snick Track keeping your team alive and Padrag as another ally attacker. Okay, both of those are really amazing. Low trials, high damage, still very cool. And then another option, just a slight variation here, but way more damage, obviously. And then last but not least, where's the... we have the wrong picture. Okay, I guess I'm going to just go back to the team with the... Where are we at here? Where are we at? Uko, okay? I really, all of the reallys want to try Uko. I don't know what happened to the final picture of the team that I want to try, but Uko and Mad Hatter are the two champions that I really want to try. I think that that'll be amazing. And if I can get Uko, Mad Hatter with Mikage, Toshiro, and our base, is that just the absolute best team? Like, here's my end goal to wrap up the video here. I want to create teams on my account that get added to the optimizer to help everybody. We've been doing that a lot lately on stream with the takeovers, and if you want some help figuring out teams for your account, you can book a coaching session with me through MtgJedi.com. I will go on your account and suggest a team. You can also book a team build where I will build the team for you. Either of those I think could really help you out, especially if there is a disconnect between what your champions are and what your team should be. Last but not least, there's one champion on the list who is not mentioned in any of these pictures, and I'm going to put her on screen momentarily. That last champion is going to be Teumesia. Two reasons I wanted to mention her. What? That's not even a word, MTG. Instinct set. I think that many more players should be using the Instinct set. It's going to give you the speed that you're missing with the ignore defense. Obviously, it's not the best. You're savage, you're cruel, cruel also, but you're savage, you're lethal, you're merciless. They're all going to do more damage, but you're going to need better gear in order to get the speeds. Also, don't forget perception gear. Don't forget accessories, all of that stuff, okay? But she has a decreased defense on the A1, and if they're under HP burn, it's 100%. Like, you could use her instead of Lydia. I know, that's insane, I know. But then you get the decreased speed, HP burn, and you get this massive single target nuke. Up to 400%. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be that much, right? But this is going to be a damage boost, and she has a really insane passive as well, okay? So if this is a champion that you have, it's a Void Legendary. That's why she's at the end. She could be a great addition to your team too, but at the very least, you could be using Instinct set on your account. So, what do you think of all of these options that I have presented today? Is this going to be helpful to you? I guarantee you it is. I guarantee you it is. Let me know how it's going to be helpful in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.